All right, are we live?
Yeah, we're live.
All right, let's play with liberal theology, episode 3. Oh,
Yeah.
City Skylines.
City
That's what
Skylines.
we're playing today.
So today we're going to do something a little bit different. We're not going to visit the UUville that we had been building. Erik has his city, and he's having. I'll let him explain because I don't actually know.
Well, I'm watching my here. I'm going to share screen. We'll just get that started. We'll get that out of the way because this is Okay, please let me share.
I don't know why it doesn't automatically let you share. You should be able to share that.
Okay, City Skylines. Let's see, screen 1. Okay. All right. Can you see what I'm looking at?
Oh, okay. I do know what's going on.
Well, no, you don't, because this is not actually the problem. My traffic has been higher. I've been doing stuff, and I don't really want to turn this into a traffic management video because we all know traffic is bad. And when hovercrafts or hover packs become a thing, we won't have cars anymore, and we'll just fly wherever we're going to go. Oh, and it's climbing back up. That's good.
So can I just seriously before we move on?
Yeah.
Okay. Click on your V11, the little crown traffic manager. Click on that. Just click it. Left click. Click on the yield stop sign thing, the yield thing right there. Click it. Now, click your traffic circle. Just click the whole circle. Click. No, you got to click like I'm pointing like right where the signs are. You're going to select the circle, not an intersection. Hit Control Shift.
Control Shift. Okay. There we go.
Click that. Done.
Okay. What should I do here?
That means that the people, what that has done is it did a bunch of pre-settings to where your people no longer stop or yield or do that pause thing they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
They just drive right through the intersection.
Once traffic clears up and new traffic enters, because these are all the old people who are still under the old algorithm.
Mm-hmm. And you can close that priority signs thing on the bottom left if you want. You don't need that.
I know. Just to be clear, I mostly use a PS4, but this is a PC, and so I will vaguely tolerate the micromanagement of my knowledge of the key.
I will be quiet.
No, it's fine, because I would rather have this move along and not be annoying as I go like, how do I do this damn thing, than have like, you just say like, oh, you just hit Control Shift and it's fixed. Wow. That's better. I'd rather have you do that. So this is not the point of the video. Okay. And if you recall last week, you were talking about tennis shoes and the fact that you want to have your city be self-sufficient in terms of what it manufactures, including things that pollute, like tennis shoes, which are all offshore now here in America.
Yes.
And what I've been experimenting with, both on the PC and the PS4, is only using non-polluting industries.
Oh, okay.
Right?
So agriculture and forestry?
That's all you can do, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which means I have a lot of truck traffic coming in and out of the city. That raises a lot of questions. But what I'm trying to figure out is, and this is a dilemma, right? No matter how much, and we talked about this a little bit last week, is no matter how much we move towards green industries, something in the ecosystem of our society still pollutes. Okay,
yes.
Can you see my mouse?
I can.
Okay, so I guess everyone can see the mouse then. So there, I've got some incinerators.
Okay.
Because my other choice is a giant dump.
Yeah.
And dumps make pollution too. In this game, they make the same kind of pollution basically that everything else makes. Mm-hmm. Turns the ground brown.
Can you click on the pollution bar? That's the little purple bar, just so that I can see it a little bit.
Yeah.
So you have some water pollution going on. I'm assuming that's your water.
That's leftover. It won't go away.
It will eventually.
How many years?
Several, quite a few, like real life. Depending on how bad it was, it takes a while. That's real.
Well, it was at the beginning of the city, but you can see here, I got to use different controls. So this is my new, where I'm at.
Yep. So you're gonna eventually replace the
All
polluting
of
ones,
those
the
with
brown
BPA.
ones.
I just need to do that. I get it, but it's flowing downstream, so I'm not too worried about it right now because
Yeah, so it's not your problem. You're passing
not my
on the
problem
papers.
until I buy the next plot of land and suddenly it's my problem. So what you're saying is, because I don't know, I'm wondering if this up here is this is this potentially related to?
It is those to your industry being right on the water's edge.
Okay, because that's the only dirty industry I think I have.
Think like New York. So I often like when I think about this, I think about because this is real. Everything that we're dealing with in the game has real world things, right?
Bye bye.
So New York struggled with this, like how do we keep the rivers from being the waterways from being polluted? And for a long time, as Americans, we didn't care until it seems very often, sadly, that we don't care until it directly affects us. So this is, like I said, I love what I genuinely love, and you know this, Eric, but what I love about this game is that it gives us an opportunity to mentally explore the things in a game situation. And people don't see it that way, but that's what you're doing.
It pulls no punches.
No, not at all. So eventually that pollution in your waterways will go away.
I was hoping this little trash collector would do it.
It'll do some of it, but not enough. Yeah, not enough. You would probably have a much bigger spread if you didn't have it.
Maybe.
This is some serious, this is seriously.
All right. No, this is real stuff. Like pollution goes downstream. That's the truth.
And a lot of, again, like the tennis shoe problem, when it's out of sight, it's out of mind. But at the same time, we all have heard this recently about the idea of like, oh, there's a peeing section in your public pool. Well, guess what? It's the same thing with pollution.
What?
Well,
I've never heard that. Please explain.
The idea that when you pollute something, if you think that it's not happening to you because you're standing on one side of the pool, but a little kid on the other side of the pool just peed in the pool, come on. Now we have chlorine.
Give it 20 minutes and the whole pool is.
It's the same kind of
distributed pee. I got it. Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah, this goes back to that idea of dominion over something. Do we own it or do we have to exist in it? Like taking care of it versus owning it.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to destroy these because this is not really the question of the day.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, let me get.
No, but it is a good question, and I do see that these are non-polluting or far less polluting because you can't see any pollution right here.
There's no pollution that comes.
This is, yeah. Oh, none. Okay. Well, I just need to replace them.
If they're green, if they're from the green, there's two versions of it. There's the one.
No, this is the green one.
Yeah, the green one is the idea being that these are based off of a real water thing. Mm-hmm. In fact, the big joke is that the real life version of those water treatment facilities, the only thing it can't treat is over-the-counter medications. It's the only thing it doesn't filter out.
That's why we're not supposed to put that in the toilet.
That's exactly why. So yeah, so they just have a real life equivalent. So it's kind of neat.
So the issue that I'm having with trying to build an actual green city, and you can see it right here, and we're going to ignore the water, okay?
Okay, you can pause it if you want.
No, because I have $6.8 million because I left it running all night last night. Okay. And then I've had some periods of time where it's making like 25,000 a week or whatever.
You're having product. So you're doing industries and you're having industry surge. That's what happens when that happens. It's something sells really well.
Yeah, and I'm not, but that's fine. And it's but they're all green industries. So it's farming, which I know is in the real world is not green, but compared to heavy manufacturing, it generates a different kind of pollution depending on how you do it. If you do it organically.
If you don't have a slaughterhouse or not, if you don't have anything that does meat production in agriculture, then typically you're going to be okay.
And the game does not take that into account because if I zoom in, we're going to go find some cows just to show that. Okay, that's not cows. That's trees. We're chopping down trees, but assumedly sustainably because
you're putting in
trees don't ever die.
Yeah, they put the lots of trees in. So
All right.
when you do lumber in the game, it puts in like, rows and rows of trees that then apparently they're harvesting in a timed manner.
Yeah.
Which is how
like they do in
ideally,
Europe.
yeah.
They do it in Europe that way. They don't. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Moo, moo. So these farms do have cows, and
But is this actually a slaughterhouse, or is this a poop farm? Like the Simplots, the fertilizer lots in Idaho.
I don't know what's a fertilizer lot.
That's where they actually do steer manure for people's gardens.
Oh no, I think the idea. No, my guess would be that this is a farm where they are raising cows, but what they have not done here is done giant production farming where you have thousands of cows stuffed onto a very
tiny squares.
Yeah.
So where's your pollution coming from?
It is coming from, so you have to get rid of trash, and there's only two ways to do it in the game. You can recycle,
but it doesn't get rid of all of it.
It doesn't get rid of all of it, and I need more recycling centers. That is a true statement. Okay. But because and they do pollute, so it actually, okay, wait, let's go back to the pollution view. Okay, so in pollution view, if let's say I buy this plot of land way over here,
okay,
and I stick my incinerators out on the peninsula, these people on this peninsula are never going to get their trash picked up. And It's going to create traffic problems getting the trash from this northern point to the southern point of the land that is my city. So I've distributed them. I think is that an incinerator or recycling over there? That is a recycling center, and we can see that it pollutes.
And it's getting people sick, yeah.
Yeah, and so I need to move it, but where do you move it? I mean, whatever I do.
So my answer to this is slightly real world.
Oh boy.
And that is that anytime I build a neighborhood, so you have this peninsula neighborhood that you have built here, beautiful neighborhood, even though there's a couple of people getting sick. And I am a little concerned that your pollution is going to go into your water, by the way. But we'll come back to that. You kind of have already started to do what I do as an answer. I know you made fun of me because I put all these green spaces, which is actually zoned in real cities. They call it green zoning.
Yeah.
But this section you have, zoom in here.
Which
a little
one?
Bit. On the biggest, little north, the one north. There we go. So you see that section there? What I would do, if I were you, is I would put a pocket of, I call it my pockets of pollution. I don't put it near my waterways because, and then I would put a barrier of offices between that pocket of pollution.
Or trees.
The trees
just die though, don't they?
They do. They do. They'll take down the outer edges, but they will just die. The truth is you need something, either you need an empty space between the pollution and your population, or offices are completely fine to go on the edge of polluted areas. I typically put a green barrier in the game. And where does that come from? Well, that comes from the old idea of the city dump, which is just outside of town. And the problem you run into in this game, much like you would run into in a real expanding city, is when the city grows to where the dump is.
Yeah, and that's I already got rid of my dumps. I had 2 of them. And
I
replace them with incinerators because the dumps create the same amount of pollution as the incinerator, if not more. Mm-hmm. And they fill up, and then they're an eyesore that doesn't actually do anything other than pollute the environment. Mm-hmm. Oh, the incinerators do make electricity. I think we covered that last week.
Yeah, they do. They do. Which is, there's a lot of countries in Europe who do that. And then they, now they have to filter the air pollution and stuff.
But you can filter it.
You can.
But it's expensive. You have to buy filters that actually do that, and there's probably
in the game there's a policy for that.
There is.
Yeah, I don't remember where it unlocks or what section it's under, but you can actually incorporate that, but it's expensive. So again, this comes back to this idea of it's very much like the real world and life management and how you are in the world.
Let's see. Why is Roundabout Builder up right now? By the way, I love the roundabouts now, as you can probably tell.
Thank you, Mythbusters. It's real. Roundabouts are like we as Americans.
I've started to do double roundabouts.
The ovals, round to ovals. Yes. Yeah.
Well, so I'm doing something similar to what you're talking about. Okay, wait. Policies. I clicked on policies. Why is
Yeah, but it could be
policies?
under, I don't know, click on it. It could be under city planning. I don't remember what it's
Why
under.
isn't the policy window coming up?
I don't know.
Let's plant some trees.
With
Okay,
your tree
maybe,
brush.
yeah, just because. Yeah, it's not coming up.
That's weird.
Okay, there's economy.
Okay. Weird.
Is it hidden? Is it somewhere else?
Do you have it on another screen? Is that what's going on?
No, I don't think so.
I don't know. I think it's under, but I think it's under city planning that you can do, like, it's an industrial filter thing where you force all of your industries to
I haven't seen that one yet. So it
yeah,
could be
it's
part of
somewhere
an
in there.
expansion or
Yeah, it's somewhere in there, and it's that is actually very realistic. They have these policies, in particular, Europe has them, where anything that manufactures anything has like all these requirements around air purity, and they sample the air near the factory. And if they get caught, they get huge fines, and then they have to modify it. So it's not just a fine, it's a fine, and we're going to shut you down unless you fix it kind of situation.
Yeah.
So I often wonder, like, what do you think of that? Or do you think that like what's the balance?
Or regulation?
Yeah, well, I guess it's regulation without teeth. What's the teeth? What's appropriate?
Well, how is it regulation without teeth? In Europe, they
Oh no, in
fine-
Europe they do. In the United States, we fine, but then we don't shut them down sometimes.
You have yeah, this is not supposed to be a political channel.
Oh, I actually wasn't thinking politics. I was thinking in terms of like health and
Well, from a public health standpoint, the right thing to do is industries. Well, consumers can reward industries that do the right thing, right? That's the way of capitalism. But you know, there are industries that are dirty, and when you deregulate them, it can create more pollution, and there is some balance there that allows the economy to do its thing and also keep the environment clean.
Okay.
The other thing is, pollution has a far greater effect on communities that are made up of people of color and poorer communities. And it's because corporations are good at putting their dirty, polluting shit in places that have lower land values. And so they'll build factories in places where if they were to build it in a fancy neighborhood, it would just never happen.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we should not be polluting the way that this game forces you to pollute. But the game points out the fact that by interacting with the environment, we pollute. And we have to choose how and where we do it and how much of it we do. And I'm making a choice here in that I could probably make more money. My city could have more money. It's already doing really well, but it could have even more money if I had industries and was shipping out all the goods and people were buying all those goods. And instead, we're having to import them. And so it's costing us more money to get those goods, and we'd be richer, but that doesn't matter because I'm trying to build a green city. And I still have hard.
It's hard because especially if you're people, again, it goes back to the tennis shoe conundrum, which we could probably write a whole paper on. The idea that if you're importing metal or in the case of the game, they call it ore.
Yes.
You know, we as human beings, we as human beings, we use metal. Like it's now a commonplace used item because it's necessary in the modern world, or it's become necessary.
Yes.
So you're importing it, but that just means the pollution's in somebody else's town.
Yeah. So I just moved my recycling center, and I only have one because I built it early and then just kind of ignored it as I was doing everything else. I put it next to my nuclear power plant.
There you go.
Yeah.
So again, my answer is that you have these pockets of pollution. That's kind of how I refer to them. My pollution services is how I think of them when I build a neighborhood. And I do build those things sort of in those extra, again, Eric makes fun of my like how I spread out my city. I have neighborhoods, and then I have space. Well, one of the reasons that I have that space is that I build in a pollution pocket. Yeah. Because the game doesn't allow you to be 100% pollution free. You can be you can be super green, but I kind of like that because that feels more like real life.
Well, I'm going to say I turned this into a pollution pocket here.
Yep.
Because I built this, you can see the grid system here. I built it to be a commerce, a mixed commerce and living zone.
Gotcha.
No, living. But what I did, because these are non-polluting, they don't do industrial pollution, but they do a huge amount of noise pollution. So I couldn't put any, I ended up relocating everybody to a different neighborhood.
So what I do with those is, again, there's this idea that you can put pockets of industry, then you surround it by offices.
Well, I understand, but I also have it surrounded by this really well-designed freeway system here. As you can see, it's solved the problem of slow traffic as people try to get from the northern part of the city over here to the southern part.
Southern part of the city.
Yeah, it really worked well with everyone taking this one way of going. There's other ways to go, but they don't want to use it.
That control shift, as long as you're on the yield thing, that control shift is your friend on a lot of those.
I didn't know what I just turned off the traffic lights.
Yeah.
Let people do their thing. Wait. Repeat that.
Okay, go to this intersection here.
Control this shift.
And then select that Williams Boulevard. Yeah.
Hang on. Now it's frozen. Oh,
okay. Is your computer having a hard time running this?
No, not up until right this second. It's been doing great. And I shut it down today while I was doing, stuff that was not this. And
that's okay. Do you want to stop screen share, restart, and we can talk about let's talk about some ethics of traffic while you're restarting.
Sure. Yes. Oh yeah, I've got the hourglass of doom.
Oh yeah.
I haven't saved in a while. I do not want to restart.
Oh no.
Does it ever autosave?
It does. It does autosave. So I am appreciating us doing this. I'm appreciating getting to have the conversations. And a lot of what we're talking about does seem to be brushing against modern politics. But that's not the intention. I actually, again, from a theological perspective, as a liberal, let's just be very clear. As liberal theologians, we do not believe that we own the earth. We don't. What? I know. Let's own that, because let's own the statement. You like how I did there? Mm-hmm. Because that is the crutch, or a lot of the things that we talk about in the game, particularly around pollution and land usage, comes back to this idea that if we don't believe we own it, we have to take the best care of it. So that means making decisions that are hard or challenging, and then you start to view things, not just how you play a game, but you start to view things in how you make purchases. Like, gosh, that's a lot of packaging. Gosh, and as Eric said, that we as consumers who live this way are theoretically supposed to be rewarding or not rewarding the companies that do this. And it gets layered and more complex when there's monopoly situations, or when there's things that the companies are choosing to do because they have to. And what do I mean by that? Well, things that are stolen from stores, they put in larger packages. So you buy like a video game thing, which is a luxury, but you buy a video game for your Switch. Those things are like the size of little quarters, the little game cartridges, if you're not downloading it. They're like the size of quarters, but their game boxes are huge. Why are they huge? Because it's a high theft item. So can you blame the company? No. But these are the complex things that you debate when you go to the store. And then you have the even when you go to the grocery store, you need to put your meat potentially in a plastic bag if you're buying meat, or certain fruits need to go into a plastic bag so that the store itself can charge you, and that it doesn't get dirty. So what do? You got to take care of the plastic
have
bag.
To.
Well,
but since our meat is made in production facilities that generate tens of thousands of tons of the product, there's a good chance that if you're buying, let's say, ground beef, that sometimes the meat has things in it you don't want touching your other
Stuff.
your cart, so you put it in a plastic bag.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. And the fruits and vegetables, I guess, you can roll 5 onions down the conveyor
As long as you wash them.
Well, and yeah, because the conveyors had meat on it that wasn't in a bag, because not everyone thinks about that. But it is both so the store can charge you accurately, and to protect you from the fact that some of the things we buy in stores might have bacteria on them.
This is the world we live in, and I know that a lot of people I don't even think about that. Well, this is why we
are playing City Skylines.
Because we think about this stuff. So I'm gonna give Erik a little push here, a little bit of love, with a little nudge here. So your city, you left it running all night, which I see nothing wrong with that. So you have 6 million simoleons.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring it back to this idea. I'm gonna ask you a question from a theological perspective. Let's talk about that money.
Yeah. Well, in the real world, there would be accountability. But in a game, there is no accountability. But it also allows for and I was thinking about this because we hadn't talked right before we started streaming about what we were going to do today. I was thinking, if it's a newer city and I'm running like at barely in the black and I don't have very much money, we're going to be limited in what we can do if we say, what if we tried moving everything? What if we tried building this thing over here?
Yeah.
We have to build a big road structure and that costs $100,000 and you have $5,000 and you've already taken out all the loans you can. Then we won't be able to play the game because I don't have it in cheat mode.
I don't know what you're talking
about. And so I figured I'd let it run overnight and I could always go back to a previous save if it, the city broke during the middle of the night or whatever. But I woke up to like a couple $1 million, and then throughout the course of the day, I just let it run in the background when I could. And we have all this money. A good thing to do with it would be to invest, which is what I've been doing actually in terms of building new road things, I've been trying to build infrastructure, primarily roads, because I'm trying to chase that 78% traffic number, and I'm in the 70s. And it's mostly, I'm still learning the keys because PC. Mostly I'm trying to, it's paused. Okay, I'm trying to solve for, and now it's all gone because I restarted. That might have been what caused it. It could have been like a massive traffic jam that just overloaded my ancient computer. Okay. So, there's I've been investing in green power, albeit I did put a nuclear power plant right there. But I just wanted to be done with the brownouts that were happening and have enough power for the purposes of managing my actual pollution, not the potential pollution from a meltdown. But the game does not actually have disasters.
Not without mass disasters.
You have to buy an expansion pack, and I do not have it. So that nuclear power plant will never die or blow up or do anything. No.
So that's a controlled thing in the game that's kind of safety.
Yeah. But it's just expensive, and it takes a long time to get the population necessary to be able to buy it, because that's how the game scales things. But I've been investing in green energy. I need more parks. I built all of this without really doing more than just putting the bare essentials along the outer edges, because I was so hurting for population as I built out farming area. And I was trying to get to that goal because there was something I wanted to buy that I needed.
I'm going to tell you, this is an excellent game. If people, well, one, it's a lot of fun. I have so many hours, it would be embarrassing to actually look at the number of hours I've played this game. But when you shift your mental filter and you think of things differently, it really can come alive, I think, for me personally, in how I view my religion. So I am curious if anybody actually is watching. We know people are watching our Let's Plays, but nobody comments. But I would love to hear some comments on what you guys have garnered from your own play experience around choices you've made that were from things that you believed in your life.
Yeah,
the
either
morals.
faith tradition or
Yeah.
philosophy, whatever it is that drives how you make decisions. Because video games are often a mirror of what happens in the real world.
Mhm. So yeah, oh God, yeah. And then like I said, I love the conversation around, what the person who runs the city owes the people who live there. And this is the good traffic or the best traffic you can manage.
I owe them lots of bouncy houses.
Bouncy house. That's kind of a manipulation of the situation with the parks, but a real one.
But the reason is, for everyone who's potentially watching, is because bouncy houses are parks that have the largest radius for the cost of the park. So you get the maximum bang for your buck. So my city is here. We'll go look.
Yeah, you can screen share.
Main part of the city.
But we're going to be real here in that if you have ever been around kids, if you're an aunt or an uncle or a parent or a grandparent, you know that when you drive by bouncy castles, they're like the old Garfield stickies on your windows.
Can I have one? Can I do that for my birthday? Can I do that for my birthday?
I want to go.
Each one of these. Go ahead.
I love that. I think it's great. Well, the other thing too is they animated the bouncy house in the game so well because it wiggles in the wind.
Does it?
Yes. You have it up? Can you screen share?
Yeah. Oh, I'm not screen sharing. I forgot. I was like about to show everyone something.
No.
I forgot I wasn't screen sharing.
But I think about my own children every single time I place a bouncy house and how they'd always be like, I want to go. They're grown now. And or they think they're grown. They're chronologically grown. How about that?
Let's see. Here's a nice one that's like
kind
of close to the water.
Zoom in.
Yeah, I think I had noticed that. Oh, and let's see if I can rotate.
You can click on the little people. Look at them. Look at them all there. They stopped because their kids asked. Because this is a free park. So that's a free bouncy house. And we all know parents like free.
And this is what I was going to show was.
The radius.
Well, no, not exactly, because that's just a technicality. What was I going to show? I was going to show just how many. Oh, that's the wrong thing to click on.
Oh, you do have a lot of parks.
I have a lot. Those are not parks. Those are bouncy houses.
Yes.
My entire city is covered with bouncy houses. And then when you go over to the new section of the city, surrounded by bouncy. Oh, and there's the radius. You can see one bouncy house.
Yeah, how big it is.
Covers that entire section. But depending on how your citizens are feeling, you can see I have a bouncy house right here.
Yeah.
Those houses, they're still unhappy. Guess what? Another bouncy house. Now they're happy.
Well, it's their land value. Yeah, their land value just went up.
Well, their happiness went up.
Yeah.
No, this is happiness. This is not land value.
Oh, okay. Hey, Eric, can you do me a favor?
Yeah.
Click on pollution again.
Yeah, it's still polluted there.
Okay, so here's what's happened. I'm just going to be real with you.
Oh, no.
Somewhere in your system, your water is polluted officially. I thought it was earlier, but you have 4%, which means that somewhere that you have pollution has a water intake of some variety near it. So you are secretly poisoning your people.
The only place I should have water intakes is right here. What is that? That's not a water intake.
I don't know what that is.
That's dumping poop into the water, I think.
I don't know. I'm just saying you have 4% pollution in your water.
No, it's a water pumping station. Why does it look so weird?
It could be, did you put any kind of a water tank?
I'm going to say I never did because I've been looking for one.
Okay, then it's something somewhere is where you have pollution is only one.
There are no water intakes. And I looked it up on the internet today because I was, oh wait, there's some more. I did have a water intake that I had temporarily placed right
here.
It's gone. It was like so right here.
Probably not cleared out then.
Yeah, but I think it's up from where it was.
Okay.
Water pumping. No. This wait. Oh, okay, that's old. Sorry, I'm freaking out. I thought never mind.
No.
Yeah,
you're good. I get it.
So I think the number has gone up.
Uh-oh.
like it wasn't at, where is it? Where's pollution? Like, I don't remember it ever being at 4%. I thought it was at 0 in ground pollution. Here, we can look at my tweets.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to, somebody's sick. Well, I know your people are sick because not near pollution, you have sick people popping up. That's why had you check your water, because that's the first thing you check is water. Because unless you have disasters, people don't typically in these cities get sick.
Yeah, here we go. Does your tap water stink?
Yep. Yeah. So somewhere you have a problem with your water. So
but what could be the water intake that's causing that?
I don't know.
Is it because I've got, oh, maybe I'm getting pollution from someone else's city? No, that doesn't seem to actually happen in this game.
No, but it's in that you're gonna have to chase it because you owe your people not to get sick from their water.
Well, I understand that, and that's why I keep my water over here.
I would get rid of that one that's pointed backwards.
That could be it. Let me just take the easy way out here. Okay, it's gone. Guess what?
It's already gone down.
So I think it must have been because it was pumping dirt into the water system. It was like,
yeah,
this game, I swear.
But this is the system. This is interconnected systems.
Oh, and look at this.
Yeah,
that was the one. No, I know it. Okay, so that was the one. You see where this line goes all the way across?
Why?
It used to be sitting right there, just north of these.
Why? But
and I moved it because I needed a local water pump because this whole half of the map was disconnected. My farms.
Oh.
And so I moved it just north of the water of the sewage outlets. And that didn't cause any problems. But then when I moved it, it flipped it around backwards because the pipe was apparently pulling it or something. So simple solution.
Well, nobody's sick now, so we're good.
Let's
so I have a tip for you here.
What's that?
Okay. So connect that first, and then I'll walk you through the tip. So if you put, or I'm going to explain it and then we'll walk you through it. So if you put in a kind of a seawall, and as somebody who lives near seawalls now, yay, it's my favorite thing to walk. If you put in a seawall anywhere along the water's edge, and then you place your water pumps on top of the seawall, you can perfectly line them up, and then you can get more in there. So it saves you space, it saves you money.
What's that saying about perfection?
Oh, I'm not questing perfection.
Okay, good, because we don't.
It's not about questing perfection. It's just an efficiency thing.
So, yeah, because although my city is arranged on a nearly perfect grid system, my freeway overpasses clearly show that I'm not after perfection.
Yeah, no. We're not doing perfection. But you see the little shovel, the land shovel at the on your menus at the bottom?
I do. I use that occasionally.
Click. Okay, now go to, I think it's water, the one all the way to the right, potentially.
Walls and fence. Oh, the screen. Hang on, let me move this. Okay. Okay, I've got. Oh, is that a seawall? Flood wall.
At first, yep, the flood wall, not that one. The one to the left.
Quay.
If you put one of those in, you can put your water pumping stations on top of it, and then they are in a much more organized line. But be careful anytime you do anything with water, because unlike in the real world, you know, when we do things in the real world where when we mess with the water line, we block it off, and they don't do that. So you're drawing this along, and then you're like, why is my city flooding? So just something to keep in mind. But see,
yes,
it gives you a level, just basically a level building space for those water stations.
Well, since I've been saving up like millions of simoleons. Well, they're not called simoleons in this game, are they?
I don't know what they're called. Money. They're money.
Wait, and simoleons is a tribute to SimCity in The Sims.
Yeah. Let's own that.
I'm not going to worry about it, and I'm just going to go, bam.
See, they just line up then.
Bam. Let's see. Ooh.
Yeah, that's okay.
I'm not going quite as close as I probably could if I zoomed in and really tried.
Yeah, but what it does is it gives you a clean area. I mean, this is slightly unrealistic in a certain sense, but
no. I mean, yes and no.
Yes and no.
I wish you could just draw from object to object, but you can't. Every time you hit a new
You gotta
object.
click and draw, yeah.
There we go. Now my water availability is like 180% because I just, well, it's 200% because I just doubled the, why are they, okay, there they go.
They're lighting up. They're lighting up. Just give them a second.
So what I'll have to do later is go in here and get rid of all of these sewer outlets and put in the echo outlets so that I have less water pollution. And then I guess I'm gonna have to wait for like 50 years, which is not unlike the real world. So that, let me go back here. So this goes away.
Good.
Oh, I thought I got rid of these. That is not farmland.
No, it doesn't look like it. So if you are watching and you play this game, or if you're watching and you'd like to play this game, I am willing to offer up that you find us, like if you message me, you can find us and we can play together, or I can upload our UU City to the Steam workshop and you guys can play it if you want. You can play our city. That would be a ton of fun if people did that.
And see what people do with it. Okay, what is going on here? I keep dezoning the land and it keeps coming back.
Yeah, that's weird. That's weird.
I think, oh, those are incinerators.
That's part of your pollution into the water. Yeah. So hold on, go to your industry button at the bottom, because I think you have
those were not incinerators. Go to my industry button at the bottom.
Yeah, let me look at something here. That's the factory, the little factory. It's between the water and your healthcare.
Oh, the water. Oh, that one.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't think I've used that button yet, except for this. I bought that one thing. And that's
so you don't actually have, wait a minute. Whoa.
What?
So you haven't been placing your forestry industry?
All I've done is create zones.
Oh.
These are districts that are just set up for forestry. And I just place everything. I'm just running it like, because these are all, what?
You can control this.
Control what?
You can control your industries for how much pollution. This is probably part of what.
No, there's no, okay, let's go back to pollution.
Okay, I'll leave you alone then.
But I'm just saying, I'm going to say, look at this. Like, there's not any pollution there to speak of. This pollution is from the recycling center that, you know what? I moved it and then the game crashed.
Yeah. After you move it, save it. I always say right after I move anything because of that. Okay. I would actually challenge you in a good way as a gameplay purposes. Mm-hmm. I would challenge you to attempt to use the industry expansion that you own.
I absolutely will.
Okay.
It's just a matter of I didn't know what I was doing.
You paint it and you place a main building, and then you as the city planner control what gets placed or manufactured in that district.
So I need a good power source for this recycling center.
You just put in some poles, man.
No, I want to put a windmill where it doesn't belong. Like where the blades of death are spinning right next to the freeway overpass. There we go.
Oh, biscuits.
You know what I saw while I was zoomed out a few minutes ago? I saw an airplane flying by.
Yeah, because
I was like sky high. I don't have an airport.
But you have an airport route that goes over your land. So when you place one, they come off that.
I don't need power lines. Look at that.
There you go. Oh my goodness, I bet those traffic people, it's like going through, what's the place in Texas when you drive down 20, you're headed toward Abilene, there's an entire section of windmills. You're like,
California is covered with windmills.
You're like, oh my goodness, surrounded by windmills as you go.
Yeah, Altamont Pass, just to the east of the Bay Area in Northern California, and the pass near Palm Springs. Those are both just covered.
I think I remember that. I was going into Anaheim one time for a Star Wars convention, and I think I remember driving through going, oh my goodness.
Why isn't this thing hooked up to a road?
Because that's an interstate.
I'm so okay. Well, yeah, I didn't. Yeah. Okay. Oh, here's the section. This is what I was looking for, and I mistook that for the southern.
That's okay. Now you have a random windmill.
I do. It entertains all the people who are stopped in traffic because this is the worst traffic route in the whole city. Actually, this is over here, but it's gotten better since the game crashed.
That's great.
What else can I move? So let's see. Where's pollution? Okay, that'll heal itself over the next 1,000 years.
Yep. And the people will stop getting sick across the street. You can see them sick.
Yep. Let's see. What version am I on? I have no idea. I'm only keeping 5 and I'm rotating through them because otherwise, like on the PS4, you can run out of space. That only allots you so much storage space for any given game.
So again, if you're watching this, you made it this far, please recommend other Steam games or other games we can play.
Oh, we can. We hinted at it last week. We're going to try Minecraft soon on the PC.
Yep.
With a gaming pro.
Yep, we're gonna have a pro on, so kid friendly.
He's not a theologian though.
Not a theologian, game pro. We'll be the theologians.
No, he's a pro. But we will ask him questions and we will see what he says. And you know, he's pretty tolerant about this whole seminary thing, but we may push him over the edge.
He may be like, you guys are wrong. I'm leaving. I love him.
He may rage quit the game. You never know.
Yeah, we're playing the lottery with that. So that one incinerator is not connected to a road, Eric.
Which one? That one?
Oh,
you're kidding.
No, I'm not.
That one? Are you telling me that symbol that's a road with a dead end on it says it's not connected?
Yep.
Okay. Let's try the other side of the street.
Well, if you don't use the move it tool, sometimes it'll click into place for you if you don't use the move. If you use the official move.
The move it tool just lets you put it wherever, and then I just see if it actually disappears. And it also lets you not be totally snapped to the road, and it actually will connect it to the road. Yeah. So I like the move it tool.
It's my favorite, right?
I don't know. Where else? So basically what I'm doing, there's another, well, we'll move this one first. Basically what I'm doing is I am creating what is essentially a highly polluted dead zone in the middle of my city.
I don't know what to tell you. Again, I don't know if there's a theological conundrum here. I will tell you from a gameplay perspective, I struggle with this. When I got into oil industries in one of my cities, because I acknowledged the reality. So I play the game so many different ways. And sometimes I'll play versions of cities just to test a theory. Ian says I'm boring, my husband, and he shakes his head at me all the time. But this is how I play the game. It helps my brain relax. So I think about a lot of these things, but I had an entire oil industry because industries like oil and ore and agriculture and forestry, when you play the industry's expansion, are based upon where those resources are actually on the map. So I played a city where my oil industry ended up being pretty much in the middle of the city, and it made me think of oh God, what's the big
Los Angeles?
Well, yeah, that's one of the cities that's like that. So because you have to use an actual natural resource, your pollution and the things that are generated from that industry have to take place where that's at. So you got to either, plan around it or buy another tile.
And it's not that, first off, how do I rotate items with the Move It tool?
I've never done that, so I don't know. I never have.
I don't have a good place to put it. I think temporarily I'm going to create a little pocket of pollution here, but realistically, it's not, the recycling center doesn't go much further than probably this railroad track, and the railroad track is so noisy that it's not like anyone can live there anyways.
Yeah, unless you put trees in. But
it doesn't even matter. I mean, you have to put in this building makes so much noise.
Show the noise. Show the noise. Hit the headphones.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, zoom out. Oh my goodness, Eric. Okay, so something else to keep in mind from a gameplay perspective. This is not
nobody lives in this entire area.
If you go as a city above 30% noise pollution, people will not move into your city. They'll choose to live into another city, regardless of whether you build cities in a quiet or build housing in a quieter area.
If they don't like the price of capitalistic progress. Too bad for them. My city is a noisy. My city never sleeps. My city's like Manhattan, except for Manhattan. As I have discussed before.
I don't know if I've ever seen noise that high.
There's a lot of noise here. I have not looked at this recently. I only looked at it I only looked at it in relationship to these train stations, the cargo stations.
Commercial zones.
I have to go in 10 minutes. I'm just saying that. So,
we're done
getting close to the end. Yeah, I have a lot of noise, and I guess I'm seeing the point of your little pocket cities now, but man, I like my grid cities and I am using the neighborhood thing, but I don't know what to do now because I can't have commerce. Oh, I did do this. See this, this whole noisy section, right? Wait, where'd it go? I thought I did. Wait. The save fiasco, I may have lost it a little bit. But that's a commercial district. I had this whole thing filled with commercial.
Okay.
And, this was farms. And then up here I had a commercial district. And that is gone now.
You're gonna rock it, Eric. I know you gotta go get the gamer, our expert professional gamer.
Yeah.
Thanks everybody for watching.
When are we gonna do Minecraft? Because you know what, I think
I want to do one more week of this.
Okay, one more week of this.
So what I'm gonna do is my plan. I'm gonna build up UUville to probably right around 100,000. I'm gonna put in some directed industry, not what Eric built, but actual directed industry. And then we're gonna talk about it.
Are you saying that if I put in the forestry zones, like a sawmill and
you have to actually place them, Eric?
Yeah, I know.
So click on the little resources button. It's the green glowing, looks like nuclear green. Yeah, if you click on there, that's that place you were gonna make commercial, that's agriculture.
Well, no. I made up here commercial. This I actually had as farmland. I apologize. I misstated. This is all, and yes, I kind of expanded my city north into a really nice agriculture zone. I get that, but I've already got a bunch of agriculture here, and it is technically asking me for a ton more industry and offices. So I'm gonna build industry. Oh.
Yeah. So I'm gonna build our UU city that we were building. I'm going to build it up quite a bit. And then Eric and I are going to talk about the industries, and then we'll move on to Minecraft the following week.
So the question is this, because Minecraft is going to be on a server.
Yes.
So it's going to be in perpetuity. And what we'll probably do is dip in and out of Minecraft as time goes on. And if James, the pro, wants to play, I just gave his name away. So everyone's going to be like, oh my gosh, I'm watching. Watch our viewership like quadruple.
He's way cooler than we are ever going to be.
So if you have ideas about, that's a forest, even though it's only one little pocket.
Because you the brush tools.
Oh, I planted those trees.
And then magically it becomes a forestry.
I might have to do something about that. If you have ideas about what you want to see in Minecraft, like ideas for what we should be doing, because there's going to be 3 of us playing. And we'll all be on the same server, so it won't be the same as this like hybrid let's play discussion group, whatever it is.
Well, it doesn't matter. I'm terrible at Minecraft.
But there's a pro, and it isn't me. So the pro will explain everything to you in detail. And by the way, it's going to probably be a flat world on create. No, it's not going to be a flat world on creative. If he wants to play, it's going to be on survival probably.
Yeah. I again, if you're watching, we're going to keep doing these because Eric and I enjoy them. And we do know people watch them. You guys just don't comment, and that's okay. So
we'll play any game provided that it is available for us to play on one of the various consoles or PCs that we have available to play. We will play any game you ask us to play.
I prefer PC, but we have an Xbox and a PlayStation. So
yeah, we have a PlayStation, but yeah, anything within reason. I guess there could be exceptions. We'll let you know if it's an exception.
Yeah. But or if you want to play along at any point. Again, What I'm gonna do, no matter what, after next week, is I'm gonna upload our UU Town to the Steam workshop. And then if you own this game, you can download it and you can play it. Anyone can play it. And at any time, send us pictures of it. I would love that.
And what I'm going to do to UU Townville is I'm going to convert it into green industry.
Yeah. So I'm going to make it all dirty for next week's stream. Then we're going to upload it. And we're going to let Erik see if he can make it all green, and we'll give you an update probably in like a month or two. One Sunday will randomly be
when I have 1 million people.
1 million, whatever. Maybe I have or maybe someday I'll show you guys some of my other cities, which are hysterical. My 700,000 people.
Do you think when you buy bread from the farmers here who are growing wheat that it's irradiated?
In real life, it might be. Very Chernobyl of you.
Yes, it is. All right. Anything else we need to? Oh, did I accomplish what I needed to accomplish? Let's see. Let's look at. So my problem was pollution.
We talked about it, and I think we talked about, like, we did fix some of it.
It worked.
Yeah, it works.
The water's still bad for some reason. I got something weird going on there. But yeah, this section is getting better, and this one over here.
You just gotta make your pocket pollution. Mine typically also is along the interstates. I will admit that. On the edge of my neighborhoods, as Erik knows, I build them. I will have my pockets of pollution will be typically near the interstates or near the on or off ramp, because then you get greater coverage into these little pocket neighborhoods for your trash trucks and for your mail trucks and that kind of stuff.
So what I'm going to need to do, my goal, if we look, maybe next week we can do like a 5-minute update on this, and I'll try to fix some of the noise pollution.
The worst. I've never seen noise pollution that bad. I'm sorry.
It's a very, very noisy city. I'll try to fix that, and we'll see how that goes, but I won't bore you with me planting trees for an hour. All right. We'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.